Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about something that happened, some time ago when I was still in secondary school, and you really want to stay tuned for this one because I'm coming with some hot gist. Just to give like a background to this story, in my Q&A video, I mentioned that I spent a significant part of my life in Cameroon, which is where I was born. Now, I did primary school, and my primary school was pretty fast. I skipped a class, I got double promotion, and all that. So by the time I got in secondary school, I was just like 9 years old. Yeah, 9 years old. So I was pretty young. And this happened when I was in Form 4. If you don't know what Form 4 is, in Cameroon, secondary school is from Form 1 to Form 5. So I was in Form 4. That's the class before Form 5 where you get to write your O levels. I was just about 12 years old at this time. All right. So before Form 4, obviously I was in Form 3. And while in Form 3, I was what do they call it? Head girl. Head girl means oh my god, I just had a very nasty thought. It's not head girl like head girl. Oh my god. Like I was the class prefect. Yeah, the class prefect. And as a class prefect, you get to write names of noisemakers, you get to do all that stuff. Now we have these people in class that they call backbenchers. They sit at the back of the class. They're pretty much responsible for noise making, and a lot of times they're not really interested in classes. They skip classes and all that. So as a head girl, you get to notice these backbenchers a lot because for the most part, when you ask to write names of noisemakers and all those things, those backbenchers, their names typically, get into that list. All right. So amongst these backbenchers, there was this guy. Um, he was a backbencher, but he was, calm. He wasn't really loud. He hardly like spoke too much. Yeah, quite giving. He wasn't interested in school because a lot of times he would miss school, but he wasn't giving me like really bad vibes like that. And I did find the guy interesting. I still don't know why. And I remember back then, they'll do all these top three finest girls in the class, top three finest guys. And this guy did come up in that list, in the guys list. So I'm like, this guy is, I mean, he's okay. He's all right. And, he's not lousy. He's just cool. Yeah, given. He gives bad guy vibes every now and then. But then back then, who didn't want a bad guy? So I just liked the guy. Find out that he liked me too. Yes, interestingly, there was this day after class, he brought cookies for me. I think cookies and something else. And he was almost damn near on his knees, trying to like talk to me and be all funny. I was like, oh my God, oh jeez. So, I got his number. Then having phones wasn't too popular, to be honest. But yeah, I did have a phone. I got his number, though it was more like his mom's number. Yeah, so but I'd still call in the evenings and we'll talk. And we're all cool. So now when you get to Form 4, you have to pick, right? Before you even get to Form 4, you have to pick whether you're going to be going to science or arts, right? So from 1, 2, 3, you're just in the general class. Then from 4, 5, you have to have picked whether you're in arts, science, or commercial. Me, I knew I always wanted to go to science, so I picked science. Brother was very, very protective of me. Like, he would tell me straight up, like, you can't have a boyfriend till like you're 21. And I was like 11 at this time when I was in Form 3. So, like, it was like having a boyfriend is like too far fetched. There's no point thinking about it right now. Like, he wouldn't even let me have conversations with guys or whatever. And me on my own too, I wasn't really too keen on having a boyfriend or stuff like that. Anyways, but I just really liked this guy. I just had a crush on him. So yeah. So when we now got to Form 4, I was in science. My brother too was in science, so we're in the same class. But this guy was in arts. So we hardly saw each other like that because one, we're not in the same class anymore, and two, he pretty much missed school a lot. At this time, I didn't know why, but I later found out why he did miss school every, now and then. So, just to put context to how much I liked the guy or I did crush on the guy. So I remember one day I saw him outside during break time and I'm like, I haven't seen you in school in a while. Have you even come to school? And he was like, it's a long story. I'm going to explain to you. And I'm like, okay, fine. And then he was like, I have to leave now. I'm like, it's not your closing time. Who's going to open the gate for you? I was like, don't worry. We have our ways how we live. So I'm like, okay. And then he's like, okay, all right, I'll see you around. And he gave me a peck on my cheek. Hey, a peck on my cheek, guys. I froze. I was like, I dream about that peck. Like, I'll be playing Westlife and be like, thinking about the peck. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. But yeah, that's how stupid I was. Like, geez, like, what? So, at some point, still in while we're in Form 4, he was like, why don't I come around? Let's see, just chill. And I'm like, okay, I'll think about it. So I remember I said my brother was very protective. So I'm like, I do not know how I'm going to hang out with you because that's just in my head. That's just what I was thinking. Like, how do I hang out with you? Like, what do I tell my brother I'm going to? So it's one thing to be able to like judge your parents because they go to work or something. But my brother, like I said, we're in the same class, went to school together, came back from school together. So he knew my movements, he knew my friends, like he knew my friends. So like, why do I tell him I'm going to? So okay, so I then called him, later on the phone, and I was like, so when are we seeing again? He said the date. I'm like, okay, that I can just come from school, right? They was like, no, 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 come on. That I mean, do I want to come wearing my school uniform? That is not cute. That I should like, get dressed, just look cute or whatever. Let's chill. So that day came and I was already thinking about how I'm going to bail on him because I was like, how am I supposed to achieve this? So my brother did have like a best friend at the time, and when I got dressed, I told the guy I was going to my friend's place. Now, it so happens that this is my brother's best friend was dating my friend, right? So I told him I was going to her place. But the guy was like, are you sure you're going to her place? And then I just pulled him to the corner because it was my house. I was like, okay, let me just tell you the truth. I'm going to see this guy. Let's call this guy, what name will I give him? Kevin. And let's call my brother's friend Nas. I told Nas that, see, I'm actually going to see Kevin. My brother must not know that I'm going to see Kevin. You know how he can be. But I just really want to see him. This is the first time I'm going to see him outside school hours. I just really want to, just chill with him. He just said, let me come see him, you know. And Nas was like, okay, fine, I understand. You can go, I'll cover for you. I remember that day so well. I was wearing a pink top. He had some stuff here. So just a little bit of cleavage, but nothing too much. Then I was wearing a jean skirt because at the time I wasn't allowed to wear trousers. Probably that story for another day. I was putting on a top that showed a little cleavage and a jean skirt. That's it. But to me, I was looking hot. I got to his area. He finally came to get me. And when he got me from where I was waiting for him, we kept going inside. And then he was like, that's my house. So I'm like, oh, okay, nice. And I was like, so we're going there. And it's like, no, 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 no. Sorry. No, no, we're not going there. We're going to my friend's house, just here. I was like, why? She's like, oh, his mother is around and he doesn't want her to make me feel uncomfortable, but his friend is not around, so we'll have the house to ourselves. I'm like, okay, cool. Guys, I got into the house, his friend's house. that's Kevin's friend's house, and he took me straight to the room. Remember, I've not like been in a closed up space with this guy ever before. So I mean, I sat on the bed, I sat here, he sat here, and then he's like, "How you doing?" He turns on a little music. I'm like, "I'm fine," and I'm all shy. For me, it was just I'm just going to say hi to this guy and just just about him, just for him. Probably he's going to tell me why he's been missing school so much, and I'll just sit there, blush, and then go to my father's house. That was my thought process because that's how naive I was, really. This guy was like 4 years older than me, by the way, just mentioning that Kevin and I were not mates. I was sitting like this, he was sitting like this, so like facing each other. And my hands were, like between my skirt, just acting like, yeah. And the next thing, he comes closer to me, and the nigga is like trying to take off my shirt. I'm like, what exactly is going on? Like, why is my shirt, like it was on my skirt? Why is my shirt leaving my skirt? Why is it not on my skirt like this? Why is it coming up? Why do I feel like the fan that was facing me was blowing my stomach directly, not passing through my top? What is going on? What's wrong with my is there palm oil on my shirt? Are you trying to help me clean it? Like, why is my shirt going up? Why is it not on my skirt the way I came? What exactly is happening? What? And he's like, "Oh, calm down." Like, that was the problem. I'm like, no, I should be asking you what exactly what's wrong with my shirt? Why is it going? Why are you trying to like take it off? Is there a problem? And it's like, no, like I should come on. Like, is it I'm not ready? Like, is it don't I think it's time yet? I said, ready for what? I'm confused. What are you talking about? What exactly am I not ready for? Because I'm ready to like find out how you're doing. Like I'm fine. Like I'm ready to be fine. Like I'm fine already. Like I just wanna I'm ready to find out how you are doing and just I'm ready to just blush and go home. Like what's going on? Like okay. And he's like, no, like, I mean, like when he said I should come see him, what was I thinking? I mean, like he was thinking, well, I'm coming so we can have sex. Then saying the word sex was almost like an abomination to me. Like I was such a church child. So when you said, I'm like, have sex? No, I can't do that. I'm not married yet. His man was like, what the fuck did you come here for though? Like, so what were you thinking? And he starts laughing. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I came here to just see you. I don't know. I just like you or whatever. I don't know. I just came and just the thought of just knowing where you live and saying hi to you. And probably you seeing me in an outfit different from my uniform. that was basically what's going through my head. Like, that was when I told him my age, and he was like, "Oh wow, whoa, okay, you're pretty young." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, I know I probably don't look it, but yeah, that's my age." Like, bro, no, this is a no for me. Jeez, I was shaking, guys. I was shaking. Long story short, I left. I went home. When I got to Form 5, mind you, all this while we're still talking on and off. You know, I didn't stop liking him really, but it was just more from a distance this time around because I'm like, I don't want nobody touching my shirt. No way. No way. So when I got to Form 5, he was no longer in my school. After Form 4, he went to another school, not too far from my school, but another school, anyways. And I was like wondering, why did you change schools and whatnot? And then I realized that I think his performance wasn't good. Plus, the fact that he was missing classes. I think he was put on probation, and after that, he was going to be expelled, so he left. I don't even know if he was actually expelled or he was going to be, so he left. He went to the other school. And then While I was in Form 5, I didn't see him often, to be honest. Again, even when I was in Form 4, we hardly saw each other because he was in art, I was in science. Imagine us being in two different schools. There was a day I called. I think then I was even still in Form 4. I called the mother, and the mother was like, "This one that you're always calling Kevin. So you're always calling Kevin. Like, I don't want to hear one day that you call me and tell me you're pregnant, oh." Like, I was like, eh? Pregnant? Like, what is this woman talking about? So I told him about it. He was like, okay, please stop calling them. But I think that was even one of the reasons I stopped calling. This happened in Form 4. But I didn't really understand. I thought she was just being a protective mom, you know. My mom is like, in fact, my mom was worse. In fact, there's no even way anybody could have called me. A guy would have called me through my mother's phone, anyways, or a guy would have called my brother through my mother's phone because my mother was like, she'll kill you, literally, like she'll finish you. So when she did that, I was like, okay, all this while apparently she has just been nice because she wants to be nice. Maybe she has gotten to the point where she's like, I beg you, I don't want trouble. Stop calling my son. So I didn't think too much of it. I told him that, I see what your mother told me, that I was really scared. That please, so he was like, oh, please stop calling her. I'll give you another number to call. So that was what made me I stopped calling. So it was letter exchange. We used to like exchange letters, but it was once in a while, like maybe once in a month at best. So it was just, yeah. So one day I went to school, and there's this girl. This girl knew him very well because she was very cumbersome with sitting at the back, and they also lived in like that ghetto area. She lived in that area too, so they know each other. So we're talking, and I just gotten a letter from him not too long ago. She was not like, have I heard from him? That's when I was like, oh, I haven't really seen him much lately. But I got his letter not too long ago and all that. She was like, ah, that do I know he has a child? I was like, a child? What? What do you mean a child? Like a whole ass child? Like what are you talking about? I was like, I don't know he has a child. Like his child is like 3 months old now. Like she said 2 months old, 3 months old. He has a child. I should ask him. He has a child. I just remember leaving my class that day. I went to the back of the class and I started crying. Like I was crying. How did he get someone pregnant to the point she has given birth and he has a child, like a whole ass child? And I never even suspected it. I never knew anything. Like, and this guy keeps telling me he likes me, and he even calls me his girlfriend or whatever. And even though I couldn't date my future, it's because of my brother and all that. But like, I was seeing someone. I kind of felt that way. So like, you know, even though it was a very weird relationship, because like I said, we hardly saw each other and we hardly spoke. But a child. One day after school, I went straight to school, and I went early enough such that is when they were opening the gates of like closing hours, so that no one has left the school yet. Like I was there standing waiting for everyone to come out, and I was going to spot him from the crowd because again I couldn't call him because he didn't have a phone. So I just needed to meet him, and I didn't want to ask him that question via no letter. So no, I needed to look him in the eyes and ask him, "Do you have a child?" So like he came out and I saw him and he was like, "Oh hi, you came to see me. Wow, that is a very long time since you came. What brought you?" And there was this field close to school, so I told him, "Can we talk?" And we went to the field. And I was like, "I heard something, and I just wanted to ask you in person. I wanted to look at you and ask you what exactly is going on." I was like, "Okay." So I told him that, "Do you have a child?" He was calm for some time and says, "Yes." That he didn't know how to tell me about it. And I'm like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Was this before you brought me to your house? So is it because I refused and I told you I was not interested? You did it with someone else and then she got pregnant? How'd that work?" Turns out that this had happened before that day. Before that day. So, oh, who knows? Maybe if I was like stupid enough to like, maybe I would have been pregnant at 12. Oh my goodness. God forbid. Huh? Long story short, he went for a party, had a one night stand. She got pregnant, then she had a child. It was like, but they're not together. He's not dating her. He still loves me. It's me he wants. He did not tell me. I'm like, nigga, just just stop right there. Just no, no. Let's end this conversation right here. And I just walked away, and that was it. That was it. The last we spoke, maybe like a year or two ago, he was doing alright. And he was telling me how he's really proud of me, how I didn't like bow to the peer Jesus peer pressure, whatever, at the time, because told me how his sister, he had a kid sister, very cute, how she got pregnant while still in school. They sent her to uni, she got pregnant. How he was very disappointed. I was shocked because this sister was so pretty. Like, felt like, geez, like you're the hot cake. Like, no boy should get you pregnant until he's made the down payment for the whole package. Unfortunately, she got pregnant. She had to drop out. He was telling me how, he's just proud of me that I just didn't get to be in any of that kind of stuff ever, and how he sees what I'm doing for myself, how I'm doing for myself right now, and he's really happy. Anyways, that's the story of how my shirt was about to leave my skirt, and I couldn't understand what was going on. I literally dodged being pregnant. Like, I dodged being pregnant because clearly, I don't know. I think his hormones were like really working at the time. Like, those sperms were really swimming. They were swimming really fast and hard. Like, God forbid if I tried any shit, I didn't even know what would have happened. Like, before my parents killed me, my brother would have killed me first. So like, no, no. Anyways, that's it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed this story. Please stay safe out there. Stay good out there. Do not get pregnant until you're ready, until it's time. Please, please, please. I love you guys so much. Like I said earlier, if you're yet to subscribe, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and of course, comment. I'd like to see if something like this has happened to you before. If you've encountered this kind of thing, if you encountered this kind of thing when you're in secondary school, earlier, later, or whatever, let me know. I'd love to read your stories, and I'm sure it's going to be hilarious, educative and fun, basically. So thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys so much. Bye.